All new tonight at 6:30, health advocates across the country say the vaping problem is getting worse, with dozens of people dying and now thousands more going to the hospital with vaping injuries. 6 people here in southern Nevada hospitalized in recent months. Now, all of them young adults or teens.
13 Action News is working to address the problem by taking part in the News Literacy Project. We teamed up with Bishop Gorman journalism student Natalie Atamian, who picked this topic because of the effect vaping has had on her generation.
This smells good and tastes good. It doesn't smell like smoke.
30-year-old Daniel Lujan gave up cigarettes last year and started vaping instead. He saw it as a way to quit smoking, a habit that began when he was 14 years old.
A cigarette, you light it, it stops. The Juul, you smoke it, you really don't know when to really stop.
Lujan says he does not see vaping as a healthier alternative, but just one bad habit replacing another. Nationwide, the numbers support Lujan's belief. The CDC reports 60 people have died and more than 2,600 have ended up in the hospital with vaping-related injuries. Here in Clark County, there have been 6 confirmed illnesses in people ages 18 to 25 since September 2019.
The numbers are a little scary, you know. Like I said, every time you turn on the news or something, you hear about national news, local news, and you just hear that these numbers keep climbing. So it does strike a threat. It is very scary.
Doctors are seeing firsthand what vaping can do on the inside.
The difference between a healthy lung and a vapor's lung is quite obvious. Here, you can see just how much is really affected.
The white stuff.
Yeah.
That's what's, and you see how extensive it is within both sides of the lungs, whereas this normal lung looks dark. It does get absorbed into the bloodstream, and this is why the long-term effect is not known.
Dr. George Tu is a pulmonologist at the Comprehensive Cancer Center of Nevada. He says vapors are taking a risk every time they take a puff.
We do think that because of the chemicals in there, which some of them are carcinogenic or can be cancer forming, there may be some risk and association down the road.
The risks, illnesses, and deaths have led federal lawmakers to ban all artificial flavoring in vaping products, except those with menthol and tobacco. Dr. Tu says vaping is not an alternative to quit smoking, as it has about the same level of nicotine in one pod as a pack of cigarettes.
Study has shown that people who vape as adolescents or teenagers, they're more likely to go forward and start smoking cigarettes down the road.
That's part of the reason why the federal government has raised the age to buy tobacco products from 18 to 21. A National Institute on Drug Abuse study shows almost 1 out of 10 middle schoolers are already vaping. That number jumps to 1 out of every 4 students by the time they hit the 12th grade. Malcolm Allo from the Southern Nevada Health District says parents can play a role in stopping their teens from vaping.
What is surprising or shocking to most parents is the variety of different types of products that teenagers are using now. All of these different products can be hidden in plain sight.
Allo says those teens and young adults who want to quit vaping should know there are people out there who can help.
Whether you're using internet chat boxes, text messaging, email, or phone calls. So we encourage anyone, especially our teens, to call 1-800-QUIT-NOW for free help quitting smoking.
Daniel wants to kick the vaping habit, but finds it very hard to do so. His advice for others who are thinking of starting?
Choose what you do very carefully and just don't even start. It's not even a road you want to go down.
A choice Daniel has already made, but he's trying to find a way out. Natalie Atamian, 13 Action News.
And Natalie's story was part of our company's nationwide partnership with the News Literacy Project, a national education nonprofit group. The mission to help educate young journalists and the next generation of news consumers understand the difference between credible information and misinformation.
Yeah, it is so important. And journalists here at 13 Action News worked alongside Natalie to find a topic that is important to our community and also to help her develop a story that separates fact from fiction. And 13 Action News anchor Jackie Kosik now shows you how it all came together.
In November, Natalie, who's a junior at Bishop Gorman High School, was selected to be part of our National News Literacy Project, joining other high school students around the country. She hit the ground running, developing a story that she felt was not only timely, but deeply important to our community.
I just noticed that a lot of my friends or like my peers at school, they've all been dealing with the same issue of vaping, and it's spread not only in my school, but all over the country, maybe even all over the world.
Natalie says she was driven by the opportunity to inform her peers.
They don't know what's being put into their lungs and how to recover, especially because I'm sure kids will be watching at home, young adults, teens, they'll be watching at home, and they'll see different ways to recover and help them move out of their situation.
Working closely with KTNV managers and reporters throughout the news gathering process, Natalie spoke to public health officials, doctors, vape shop owners, and one young man who vapes. She wrote a compelling script combining facts about what has become a public health epidemic with people's real-life experiences. In learning how to report a story step by step, Natalie was also refining a valuable skill: how to discern trustworthy news in an oversaturated market.
I feel like people just say their first opinion and don't have facts to back it up. And I feel like everyone should have the right to their own opinion, but to be informed is the most important thing that young adults need to learn, and especially in school.
Teaching the next generation of journalists and news consumers the difference between fact and commentary is a priority for Natalie's broadcast teacher, Jason Valley.
10% of these kids might work in the industry. They might get out there and get a job in television. The other 90%, they're going to go off and do something else. But if they can get the experience in this class where they understand how the media works and how it's all put together, even if in their normal life they just look at the news and realize that no, most of it, the news doesn't have an agenda. Commentary, that's a different story.
Jackie Kostek, 13 Action News.
Yeah, we're saying Natalie just did a fantastic job.
She did an excellent job.
Yeah.
Really, I was very, very impressed. And she comes by it rightfully. She's got a great professor, Jason
Right.
Valley, used to
Yep.
be a photographer here
Right.
years ago.
Right.
And so yeah, she's learning great things at a great school, Bishop Gorman, as well.
Yeah, and a great, great topic. All right.